Hello and welcome to the Mitchell Millennial Podcast. If you guys are new around here, I do this podcast like once a week. We talk about Xiaomi news, kind of some general budget tech stuff, and we kind of have a conversation, or we try to provoke conversation in the comments. And so what we're talking about this week is the launch of the Redmi K20 Pro in India, why it's so far after the Chinese launch, why I still don't think the Redmi K20 Pro is launching internationally as the Mi 9T Pro, or at least not anytime soon. Xiaomi opens up a new manufacturing partner facility in India. We have a stable Xiaomi EU ROM for the Redmi K20 Pro. So first up, before we get started on this, I want to thank everyone that uses the affiliate links. Without your support, couldn't keep this channel going. Check out my Telegram groups, links in the description. Also, I've got an interesting article on this topic written on my website you guys might want to check out. Also, we'll have a link for that. Okay, let's just dive right into some of the news and some of the kind of topics that I wanted to talk about. So the Redmi K20 Pro is slated for launch at the end of this month. And me and my writer, who I have doing stuff for me on my website, we're going over the available bands for the Redmi K20 Pro in China, and they are the identical bands needed for the Indian market. Now, usually when a device makes its way outside of China to another market, that then becomes the global variant of it. But I think that the fact that the K20 Pro, the current K20 Pro in China, is totally usable as an Indian variant leads me to think that the Indian variant of the K20 Pro is going to be identical to that of the Chinese variant of it, and it's not going to be a different international or global specific phone release. That's just a bit of hypothesizing from me, but I don't see why Xiaomi would necessarily go ahead and make the Indian variant of it a more global phone when they can just use the same tooling, same manufacturing, same radio, all the same hardware that they have already going on in China. So I think that the K20 Pro released in India is just going to be the Chinese variant of it, manufactured in India. Talking about India, Holotech, which is a big supplier of components for Xiaomi, opened up their first manufacturing plant in India. And this would be, Xiaomi currently has 7 or 8 manufacturing plants open in India. In a fair amount of the plants, they are there for like assembly purposes, not necessarily like the manufacturing, but for assembly. This is because of tax laws that are there in India, and actually in a couple of the assembly plants in India, the labor staff is majority female. I think it was in 1 or 3 of the plants, they have like a 95% female employee ratio, which is pretty interesting. I think that's pretty cool. People in my Telegram communities from India said that for the most part, Indian people are pretty happy that they're bringing more manufacturing domestically for the Indian market. So if people in India are happy with it, thumbs up to you guys. Glad to see that. Next up would be the Wi-Fi certification that a device that could potentially be the Mi 9T Pro just got. Now, a lot of people are saying that the fact that there was a recent Wi-Fi certification means that it's just inevitable that the Mi 9T Pro is coming for a broader global release. And I see a few flaws with that. If Xiaomi is going to be releasing a Mi 9T Pro globally, then it would be kind of overshadowing their current Mi 9 Pro, the Mi 9, which just recently launched. And in the past, Xiaomi has done S variants. There was a Mi 5S Plus or a Mi 5S variant. Is Xiaomi going to start releasing T variants of this? Is this going to be a mid-cycle refresh? Because The Mi 9 released less than 3 months ago. So for them to be releasing another phone to replace the Mi 9 does not make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for them to have the phones competing with each other, especially since the K20 Pro has been coming down in price. I'm sorry, the Mi 9 has been coming down in price. And for Xiaomi to release this would kind of be them making a statement that wireless charging doesn't matter so much and the cameras don't matter so much because the cameras are worse. Either way, I don't see how a Mi 9T Pro fits in their global strategy. I still think that we're going to have a Pocophone F2 launched before a Mi 9T Pro global release, just because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever for them, at least from a business standpoint. Next, I wanted to talk about the release of the stable Xiaomi EU ROM. Now, I'm in a developer community, and I'm in a couple different communities on Telegram, and I probably was in the first 100 people in the world to have Xiaomi EU stable installed on their phone. Today is the first day that the Redmi K20 Pro is going to be my daily driver device. So I'll be making follow-up videos talking about bugs, how much stuff has actually changed now that we have a Xiaomi EU ROM, just to kind of update the last video I did about that ROM. I should be flashing other people's phones, so I'll be able to give you guys, now that I know the process, I should be able to go ahead and do a better tutorial video for you guys, and that'll probably be here in the next week or two, probably before the Indian launch of the K20 Pro. I'll show you guys how to load on TWRP and flash a new ROM, because I know a lot of people are going to want to see that. Overall, my impressions with this ROM, the device is even faster than it was before. In regards to RAM management, it's been great for me, to be honest with you. Everything that I want to have fixed has been fixed on the device. The notification they're getting better in regards to like not getting notifications or push notifications for some apps. I haven't used it enough to give you guys a real battery life review, but overall I've been really, really pleased with the way this device performs on the new ROM. And I would say that for most Android enthusiasts, if you aren't a big fan of MIUI, for whatever reason you might want to consider taking the approach that I have, which is a custom ROM based on MIUI. You debloat all of the Xiaomi built-in apps, you replace them with Google apps, and most of the complaints that people have are fixed. You retain a lot of the Xiaomi optimization for the device. You retain a lot of the speed for the device. With the EU ROMs, you're going to get updates on them with somewhat frequency. And you get all the new features that Xiaomi launches before they become available to the public. So overall, there's a lot of great reasons about why you should be excited for custom ROMs on the K20 Pro. If you guys want to know more about that stuff, let me know either on YouTube or in Telegram. If you guys are listening to this on Google Podcasts, love all of my podcast listening family. Helps me out. If you're on SoundCloud, give me a comment on SoundCloud. It'd be awesome. We're going to wrap this podcast up here. I'll have links to more content for you guys to watch on the end screen for the YouTube. Till next time, it's been Mitchell.